JJ, the CPA here. We're going to talk about banking secrets, and we're going to talk about the business plan. You know, so many people talk about putting together the business plan when you're going to talk to the bank, but what is it that the bank actually is wanting the business plan for? And believe it or not, the first reason they want it is to see that you have thought it through. And, you know, you can spend a lot of time and effort on a business plan, and you should, but what you're defining in a business plan basically is, what is it that I'm going to do? Who am I going to do it for, right? So it's just the who, what, where, when, and why, and how. So when you're doing a business plan, you know, don't put when and then put your explanation, but that's really what a business plan is. You're going to have a summary. So if you're wanting to expand your business, basically expand your business to provide additional services in the such and such area to this demographic at this price, with this cost, with this profitability. Doesn't have to be, you know, 4 or 5 pages with a ton of market analysis per se, because the bank is going to basically, they're going to take your word for it, meaning you're not going to have to be in a situation where you're going to have to prove your data, so to speak. Now, if you're getting a $25 million loan, that could be a different circumstance. But anyways, but when you're putting together the business plan, think of it as if you were trying to prove to yourself that this was a good plan, and what would be the questions that would be asked of you. So I know right off the bat, whenever we're getting into some deal, right, as a business owner, we're ready to just jump in, right? If we're ready to get into an expansion, we're ready to go, right? I mean, it sounds good to us, makes a lot of sense. Maybe we've gotten the opinion of others, our spouse or friends or colleagues, or the people that you know, are partners or shareholders with us. Maybe we even run it by the bank. But the business plan can be a super great idea, because it's going to show you kind of what the plan is from the standpoint of timing. What is it going to take? Who is it that you're going to go after? Kind of help you focus in, help you determine when you should be seeing results, so that you can then figure out if you need to tweak anything. You know, so many times if you get into an expansion or you're getting into a new business, you're doing what? I mean, you're wearing a ton of hats. You're doing a lot of different things. And so it's easy for minor things to slip, not intentionally, but minor things like, you know, if you place an ad, let's say on Facebook, and you let it run and you go, well, let's go ahead and let it run for 3 months. Well, maybe you should have stopped and looked and see if it's yielding any results, just to not have yourself in a situation where you keep paying for that same ad. Maybe it needs to be tweaked. Maybe you need to change the demographic. Point is that when you're putting together a business plan, you're talking about all the aspects of what you're getting ready to do from the perspective of ownership. And then if you put that business plan together, you're going to be really in a great position when you're talking with the bank to better know what it is that you're trying to do. So most business owners, right? Why am I doing this? Well, I want to make more money. I want to expand my business so that I can help more people. There's a demand for it, so I want to meet the demand. And, you know, you got to keep in mind that whether it's a business startup or an expansion, you know, that's a lot of times where people will get into something, I don't want to say too quickly, but they'll get into something and they haven't thought through everything that you should be thinking through. So you're talking about cash flow, right? Because cash flow is king. Then you're talking about, okay, who's the demographic? Who are the customers going to be? How are you going to reach those customers? What's the timing to infiltrate that market or deliver to that market? How are you going to actually do the marketing? What's the cost involved with that? Who's going to actually implement the changes? Who's going to be the one that's going to oversee it and manage it? And I know as a small business owner, it's me. Okay, well, maybe it is. But what are the criteria to know that, okay, well, when it gets to this certain level, maybe I would need to have somebody come in and help me. So the business plan is something that we'll go through in detail, but in another segment. It's not part of the banking secrets in the detail, because what you need to know is this: Google business plan, okay? It's a who, what, where, when, and why, and how. And the thing about it is, a business plan, Yes, there's a model to it, right? But the bank basically wants to see that you know what it is that you're doing here. That's the biggest aspect of it. Know this, that business plan, they need to be able to just kind of buzz through it in about a minute. So getting into a big commentary, talking about, you know, how awesome the product is not what a business plan is all about. It's not to sell. It's not a brochure to your customer. It is for the bank to make a determination if they're going to loan you money. So, all right, hey, thanks for watching. We've got more videos to come. Banking secrets. JJ the CPA. You've never met a CPA quite like me. Don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me.